Good day, guys. Welcome to my channel. It's Mr-Kelv here on this particular one. It's good to have you here with me on this one. So this particular one, I'll be sharing with us a network global content criteria. Of course, the global growth content is no longer news. It's buzzing all over X. Content creators are making content around a network, posting on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, X, and all of that. So it's no longer everyone is literally talking about a network. So we can see it is a buzzword. If you go to hashtag, you could see it all over because creators are making content around a network. But then it's not just making content. One can make content and then still miss out on the reward. So it has now become imperative that I do a video to enlighten especially my community members on how to go about this content creating so that they wouldn't do good content and then at the end of the day they will miss out because they did not follow the right procedure. So that's why I'm doing this video, so that my community members will be better informed on how to do good content, not just do good content and then also follow the right procedure so that they will be rewarded at the end of the day. So in this video I'll try to cover content criteria, eligibility rules, what counts, what doesn't, and then tips to win these rewards. All right, so every week, actually, this global content every week, a network gives out 500 USDT to content creators. Yes, we know about that already. So now how is it shared? The first person on the pool um gets the first creator gets 100, second 75, third $50, that's 50 USDT, fourth 30 USDT, fifth 25, 6 to 10 will share 20 USDT each, then 11 to 20 will share 12 USDT each. You understand? Then on top of that, every month, by the end of the month, the top person on the list would get 100 $100 worth of WNet. WNet is a version of NET. That's a wrapped version of NET that is deployed on a BNB chain. It's already live on BNB chain. All right. So the person that finishes as the top content creator for the month would get 100 dollar worth of this WNet as an additional pool. That's huge if you ask me. But then we need to know what's required of us so that we would do the needful. The first thing you need to do is to be registered on a network mining app. That's the first thing you could do. You understand? So if you want to do that, if you want to follow up this program, because I've seen someone actually who started this program, this writing without even content creator, without even having an app. So I had to call the person to order, and I told her, see, this is not how to do. You need to read the rules involved before you start. So the first thing you need to do is to go to, if you're using Android, go to Play Store. All right, search for Anet. I'm going to do that. A network. A network is supposed to come up. Okay. All right. So a network mining is going to pop up. A network. All right. So this is it here. Click on it. So this is the logo here, a network. So just download it here. It's asking me to open because I already have it, so I'm not going to open it. And if you're using an iOS, the same thing applies. I will do well to drop the link to the downloadable links both for iOS holder users and then Android users. All right, so let me just go back to the Discord so that we'll see the requirements. All right, so when you're done downloading, please ensure to do well to create your ID. All right, when you do that, register with your email, and then the system will automatically give you a US ID. That's a user ID. A US ID, that's user ID. So when you have an ID, then you can start. You're eligible for this. So look at what they say there. Who can participate? Be an active a network miner. That's what I just explained. Make sure you have the app, registered on the app, and then you're good to go. Then register your a network ID. There's an ID on the a network. When you want to turn in your work, you'll be required to submit. Then register every social media. Then there's a section where you enter the handle, your username for each of the platforms you're using for this campaign. All right, you can have up to two X accounts, for instance, maximum of two accounts for all these. Now the eligible platforms. Now you can do YouTube, you can do normal YouTube video or shorts. Then for X, you can do X post and then X Spaces. That's where we have usually have an armor. Then Instagram Reels are allowed, and TikTok short videos. Then how are the points weighted? All right, so YouTube 5 minutes plus video will give you 10. But I want to say something here, that you're seeing 10 here does not mean that if you automatically do a 5 minutes video or beyond, that you should get, that you would get this 10 points. No, this 10 points is telling you that the 10 is the maximum points obtainable. You can't have beyond 10. That's what they're telling you here. So you can do a 5 minute video and you'll still not get 10 because your video is not of high quality. But if you do a standard video, original video, high quality, and then you said and you're creative, and then your video was able to sell the project, you understand? Because the essence of this content creating is to market the projects for adoption. We're trying to push a network, you understand? If you do your due diligence and then you did the needful, definitely you're going to have the 10 points. The same thing applies for this X space. The host would get the maximum point obtainable by the host is 8, but then your host, your X space should be, engaging. It should be such that that is informative. You're able to educate your audience about what a network is. And then YouTube short 5, Instagram Reel 5, TikTok 5, then X space co-host, person that co-hosted would get 5, then original X post is 2. All right, then let's go to okay, yeah, we have here every week, please. Usually every week we usually have every new topic for the week. But then if let's say you've made a content around a topic for the week, and then you want to do another content, you might still do a different. It does not mean that you would all your contents for the week will be around this one topic. You can do anything differently, but then just ensure that at least one or two content you did for that week should be around the topic that was specified for that week. Then you can go beyond that scope. All right, so now for every week, Aura is the global growth lead for a network. All right, she's the head of the global growth um program for a network. Okay, now what does not count? Repost and retweet, of course, they do not count. Duplicate uploads, recycled or previously submitted content, content from unregistered accounts, spams, and all of that. Okay, please try as much as possible to ensure that you go through this video, because I did my I had to start in such a way that even a layman, the person that just entered into content creation, should be able to know one or two to do, because more often than not you see people writing, doing content, and then they don't get rewarded because they do not follow the right rule. So what are you writing on this week? So I'm going to show you what you're to write on this week. So this is Aura. I just told us that Aura is the global growth head for a network. So this is her X account. Please do well to follow her so that you'll be getting updates from her. Okay, so now this is it. So she has announced the global growth topic for this week. And what are we talking about this week? We are making content around a network and then Delta Strategic Alliance, the partnership, all right, that took place. So that's what we're doing basically. Again, another thing you need to do is that if you're uploading your content, before you upload your content, try to use appropriate hashtags, just like hash for this week, hashtag DLTS, hashtag a network, hashtag deltis, hashtag global growth, hashtag NET. These are the hashtags that we are using. These things are just showing that we are doing one campaign. When we have those hashtags in place, it means that all of us are doing the same campaign. Then it will go viral on whichever platforms we're using. That's the essence of hashtag. People will know that this is what is happening currently, and then they will subscribe to the project, and then the project will have the adoption that is looking for. So guys, this is where I'll be wrapping it for today. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you on my next one. I wish you all the best in this your content creation. All right guys, thank you. If you're just joining, please do well to like, comment, subscribe, and then let your friends see the video. Let them just share so that they too can benefit from the this criteria that I just highlighted, and then it's a win-win for you and I. So thank you guys. Bye.